somebody was referring to.
I was.
Drake and Future.
I heard this on the radio and I was like, is this real? Like, come on.
With Young Thug, who I think was just on SNL a couple of weeks ago. Wasn't Young Thug the musical guest? It was only I can't believe it took somebody this long.
No idea.
To dig up I'm Too Sexy and put it in a rap hip-hop song.
I never see the musical guest because I always watch the playlist they put on Peacock, and they never include the musical guest.
Probably licensing rights.
Oh, really? You don't watch it? Because I watch it on Hulu, and it just chops out the commercials.
I don't know. Just on Peacock,
They don't air the musical guest on SNL and Peacock?
They just don't put them in the playlist, so I don't watch it.
What,
I don't care.
What playlist?
That's the way it airs. It's by like sketch, almost like a YouTube playlist.
Oh, it is?
But they don't put
on Peacock. Yeah,
on
that's
Peacock,
weird.
But they don't put the musical guest for whatever reason, which is fine by me because I usually don't care about the musical guest anyway.
Yeah.
Well, that's rude of you.
So you can. So if you watch Saturday Night Live on Peacock, it's by sketch.
Yeah.
Huh.
They're doing it on YouTube essentially. They're doing what YouTube.
I wonder why they're doing it that way.
I think it's to see which ones connect with people more. Or if you go, I don't like this one, you skip ahead.
I understand the streamers want to get as much data as they possibly can, and they want to manipulate whatever algorithms they possibly can. But what that does is it makes the UI so needlessly complicated for people watching that you're like, I've gone off my gourd about this before, where streamers are turning into regular television when they were supposed to be the solution to that, where they're making you wait now. I know Bill likes it. I don't like it. They make you wait to watch a new episode. I'm like, okay, well then why did I cancel cable? Because this is the exact same thing that regular television is doing, is you got to wait week to week to watch a show. Unless you let them pile up.
I'll challenge you to this. Delete all your streaming services and go back to cable.
No.
If it's the same thing, save yourself from.
But you understand what I'm saying?
No, I get it.
Not all the streamers do that, right? Some of them, they'll stack the shows. You watch all of them. Mm-hmm. They go, here's all of them. But the other ones, because they're trying to get people to, I don't know,
stick around longer.
Well, to keep coming back. Mm-hmm. The trouble is, there's so many shows that you forget what you're watching.
But that's kind of why I like doing the weekly thing, because I go, okay, it's not as overwhelming to watch a bunch of episodes or to watch like
overwhelming.
One episode. Like, I don't know. I sometimes if I don't know, I like the week by week thing. It's just easier for me because I don't watch a ton of different shows.
So you remember what you're watching?
Yeah, because it's what's in my queue to watch.
Tuesday nights, Grey's Anatomy. Bill puts on his little sweatpants, has a glass of red wine.
I never take the sweatpants off.
That's true. Sorry.
Grey's Anatomy. That's what he calls his sweatpants.
Hey.
I've never seen an episode of Grey's Anatomy.
Well, I don't know what you're into.
I watched. I was forced to watch the first few seasons.
Forced?
Yeah, my girlfriend at the time was way into Grey's Anatomy. Like when that show first premiered, she was all about it. So we're watching Grey's Anatomy every week. And you can't help but get sucked in.
Dude,
But then we broke up and I was like, no more. I also broke up with Grey's Anatomy.
I am susceptible to getting sucked into any show. It doesn't matter how stupid it is or what it is. I guarantee you.
There's a show that you won't get sucked into.
That show sucks. But like, I mean like dramas or sitcoms or things like that, where once you start watching it, I feel like any show is easy to get sucked into, whether it's really, really good or really bad or whatever it is. You're like, man, now I care about these characters. Can't just leave them alone.
We've bailed from some shows. We bailed on Squid Game. We were watching The Shrink Next Door with Paul Rudd and Will Ferrell on Apple TV. Good. It's so depressing. It's like, I get that it's like, there's like this strain of comedy where they go, hey, if we put two people in something that everybody knows is funny, you'll convince yourself it's funny.
And they've been funny together in the past, too.
Yeah. I mean, it's not Anchorman, and you know that they're funny, but there's like this new kind of show where you convince yourself it's funny, even though you never laugh, you don't even chuckle. Mm-hmm. You keep watching it, and you're like, is this not even a dark comedy? Like, this show makes me uncomfortable.
Give me another example.
And I'm not going to watch another show
like that
that's supposed to be funny, but you never laugh. Boy, one's not springing to mind right now, but I know we've watched other shows and we've been like, is this supposed to be like and I'm all about dark comedy, but dark comedy is still funny. It's tangibly funny.
It wasn't not a dark comedy, but I watched the first couple episodes of Letterkenny and I was watching it and I was like, this is the worst show I've ever seen. It's so overwritten.
But that's
and
what I
was
said.
like,
Everybody's like, you'd love Letterkenny. And
I tried. I watched like
Yeah.
3 or 4 episodes, and I was like, this is really terrible.
And it's been on. Well, it's not. My complaint was always that it was overwritten.
Yeah.
Because it takes you out of it. Because
Right.
it's like you just watch. You're watching people trying to memorize their lines.
Yeah.
And that show's been on for 8 seasons.
People love
it's
it.
huge in like I understand why people like it, and every once in a while, Gwen and I'll be like, "You want to try Letterkenny again?"
Mm-hmm.
Like it's the same reason I didn't like Trailer Park Boys. It was so contrived
Yeah.
that I was like, I can't. But at least that is I guess that's a decent example of a show that's I'm just
Well, that's like everybody's. It's supposed to be funny, but I just watch it. I'm like, I don't.
Here's another show that was supposed to be funny, but I don't think I laughed.
What's that?
Black AF. Did you watch Black AF?
I like Black AF.
Kenya Barris? I like it too because Rashida Jones is crazy hot.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I'm not laughing watching this.
I had some laughs.
Really? Yeah. Well, anyway, I'm way more into silly laughs these days. I want to watch What We Do in the Shadows. I want to watch
that's
Big
good.
Mouth. I want to watch.
See, that's the one for me that didn't like, and I like dry comedy, but like What We Do in the Shadows, I was like, this is boring.
so goddamn funny.
I'm screaming laughing at
Yes.
that show.
Oh, Jackie Daytona.
Losing my
care.
mind
Oh,
at that
I hate
show.
when that show's over.
No.
Anybody watching Yellowstone? Everybody's telling me to watch Yellowstone.
No.
I've had people tell me to watch Yellowstone, and I feel like that's going to keep me.
Out of spite, you're not going to watch it?
Not even out of spite. I just don't think it's a show for me.
What's it about?
Kevin
Costner running a
is,
ranch.
Got a cowboy hat.
Yeah.
Sure. My sister and my mom right now are obsessed with Big Sky. Which,
I think it's probably a similar show to. Oh, isn't there a
no,
hot
Big Sky's
chick?
about murder.
Yeah, there's a super hot
They're all
chick
about
in
murder.
Big Sky though. Isn't Kathleen?
Madigan, yeah.
No. What the hell is her name?
Kathleen Bates. We talked
Catherine
about her.
Winnick.
Oh.
Oh God, she's hot. Yeah, she's in Big Sky.
Yeah, I've never seen an episode about it, but my sister and my mom are like, they're in love, like can't wait. They watch it on regular TV every week.
Well, because it's on regular. It's on
Yeah.
the network. I think it's on
it's on
ABC.
like ABC or something, yeah.
It's just one, and I feel bad for network television because there are shows on people don't know about
That are so good.
You don't hear or not, but
Yeah.
you just don't hear about them. It's I can't believe it's still on. Yeah, Catherine Winnick is crazy foxy.
I don't, especially when you
Canadian
watch
actors.
stuff by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'll watch some stuff, but if it doesn't grab me quick, I get so bored and just am like,
I'm the opposite.
I would rather just watch basketball or something. Like, I like watching a live event, or I like to watch Columbo, apparently.
Reruns
Really
of
in
live
the-
events?
No, not reruns. I watch, the basketball's on pretty much every night.
Every night there's some basketball
There's some
games.
basketball, so
I
I
did-
watch that.
I didn't even know that was a thing. I think in college.
You didn't know basketball was a thing?
Did you lose money betting on they're like, Michael Jordan's going to make this shot. I bet you $100.
No, I'm saying in college, I would like walk in on my roommates watching a game or whatever in the middle of the day. And I'm like, oh, you guys usually watch this stuff at the bar. He's like, oh, no, this is a rerun. I'm like,
Oh, they do that, yeah.
I was like, they play reruns of live games? I was like, but you know how it ends then. He's like, yeah, it's just background. I'm like, but why watch it? He's like, well, it's there. I'm like, there's a lot of stuff there. Why would you want to watch a game?
Well,
that
that's why they're taking ESPN Classic off the air, because you can get sports now anytime, all the time. Nobody needs to watch games from 35 years ago.
Yeah, it's all on YouTube.
Yeah.
Well, you're, Alan, always talking about how many shows you're watching. I'm opposite I do one show at a time. So, like, I made my way all the way through 30 Rock, and right now I'm on Marvelous Mrs. Maisel because I'm not home a lot. So when I am, I just have one show to get through 2 episodes of every night, and then when that's over, I'll start a new one. Because I don't like bouncing around. You do that with books, too, though. You'll start a book and then never finish it, and then start it. You'll lose track of characters.
No,
and
I never used to do that. I used to finish a book before I'd start another
Right.
one. I got 10 books going right now.
That's got to be, you're never going to finish one of them because you got so much going on.
Prove it wrong, Alan.
I'm-
Read them all
wrong.
tonight.
Well, but I'm incrementally getting through all of them.
Are you?
They're all so different that I'm not going to be like, because I don't read fiction, so they're all nonfiction. So it's not like I'm going to be like, oh, who's this character
Yeah.
in this? So if I'm reading, like right now I'm reading the Marty Feldman autobiography, I'm reading a James Baldwin book, I'm reading Ladies and Gentlemen, Lenny Bruce, which is written in all this like late 60s like hipster cat lingo, which oh my God. Yeah, so books that are so different.
Yeah, I guess that's different.
You know, amusing ourselves to death. I'm reading that.
See,
so it's all over the place.
all of my books are figure-it-outs written by British actors whose wives, husbands betray them, and there's all. So for me, I couldn't read two of those books at the same time.
That I understand.
Yeah.
No, I've bailed on shows recently. I'm like, I don't have time for this, man. There are a couple of shows on Apple TV. They are not hitting it out of the park with the.
They were doing so good
programming.
for a while, but I need to finish the morning show.
Finish the morning show. Finish Ted Lasso. Those are great, but I'm bailing on Foundation and I'm bailing on Invasion.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the Will Ferrell one's on Apple TV. I guess I won't even start that.
Well, because now everybody's telling me to watch. People who watch Squid Game, they're like, you got to watch this show called Hellbound. It's just another Asian show where they have monsters taking people to hell. I'm like, okay, I'll try it. But Squid Game was really overrated, and I didn't finish it. We bailed from
it's
Squid Game.
slow, and you're not a fan of
Hawkeye.
slow things.
Hawkeye.
No, I don't mind slow. Hawkeye's better than it should be.
It is. I like Hawkeye.
Show on Showtime called Yellow Jackets. I want to watch that too. It's like cheerleaders who survived a plane crash or something.
About
Like Christina
bees?
Ricci's in it. No, it's got a good cast, but I'm like, I don't. I have like an hour
And
a
then there's
night
the
to
new
watch TV.
Dexter on there too. So it's
I didn't
like,
watch the old Dexter.
Oh, God, I
like
love Dexter.
But I don't know if the new one's any
So
good.
hot. Michael,
Is he?
Yeah.
Because he kills people, or his
the
face is
actor.
hot.
Michael C. Hall's an
Michael C.
attractive
Hall
man.
is very good looking.
All right.
To look 'em up.
He does a dance number in the movie Gamer with Gerard Butler, if anybody's interested. He takes his shirt off and does a dance.
Gamer's a better movie than it should be too.
I love that movie.
It was very prescient too for the time. It was
Well,
really
yeah.
it was a little ahead of its time.
And that concept is like, oh, dang, like that could happen.
I didn't know this guy
He's
was
kind of
50.
Running Man, right?
Gamer? It's they take prisoners and allow
Yeah.
rich people to use them as like a
Yeah, so like
game.
Death Race. And
Surviving the game with Ice-T. Yeah.
That's
You're controlled by some rich kid in Europe who plays with
That's
you
right,
essentially
yeah.
as a video game.
Okay, listen, I'm going to give you a trip here to Los Angeles, California in January. There's that's the money shot. Our Alter Ego Festival is going on at the Forum. It's Imagine Dragons and Coldplay and Kings of Leon, 21 Pilots, and more. You and a pal fly you out, put you up, get you to the show, the whole bit. So you got a shot once a day here to win around 5:30. So good luck.
Now, here's your chance at a trip to our 2022 iHeartRadio Alter Ego. Text the nationwide keyword party to 200-200. You'll get a confirmation text and info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's party to 200-200.
Alan Cox Show After Hours line. Anytime you want to drop a message there, you can do that. It's 216-986-8903.
Alan, Mike, and Akron. And I'm working on catching up. I started the week with Corey Roddick here on the podcast. And if someone covered it, then you're going to skip over this anyway. You have such an issue with the baseball team picking the Guardians and all the rigmarole that's going on with that. Are we not going to overlook the White Sox, the Blue Sox, the Red Sox? Hell, there's colors in sports teams. The Cincinnati Reds, football, the Cleveland Browns. I think it's weird they're getting hung up on traffic statutes versus literally colors and articles of clothing. That's it. Love you. Bye.
Yeah, I think he's got it there.
Does he, though?
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not hung up on the Guardians. I'm flabbergasted that a city the size of Cleveland has two teams with the same name because nobody wanted to do anything else. I don't care about colors and socks and things like that. I'm fine with Browns. That's a guy's name. It was named after a guy.
But the Red Sox and White Sox are not inspired names.
Tom Red Sox didn't exist.
I'm not saying these are inspired names. I'm saying there weren't two sports franchises in Chicago fighting over the name White Sox.
But it's not like it was two prominent sports franchises fighting over name. It's a male roller derby team that hasn't been active for...
prominent to roller derby fans.
Don't
Is it?
do that.
Is it? Because I don't think it is. They haven't even
I mean,
done
but
a bout since 2019, and they've only been around, for like a decade, maybe?
But does no one understand what I'm getting at here?
Yeah.
That words, they go...
You're more irked about it than anybody else.
It's not a big deal to me, and I think
Granted, not even saying
statues are good.
I'm not even saying it should be a big deal. A, they're not. B,
Cool.
they go, oh... They didn't. By the way, do you see the photo going around? They couldn't manage to center Guardians on Progressive
Yeah, I saw
Field.
that.
Okay, so anywho,
At least it didn't fall down.
Oh my god.
Didn't fall down, did it?
Yeah. What are the taxpayers paying for, by the way, in this city? You know,
That's for the.
Potholes, traffic cameras.
No,
what do you
we're
think
paying for
those
the
things-
stadium.
I mean,
No,
when it
that's
comes
what we're paying
when it
for.
comes to them soaking taxpayers for another stadium upgrade or something. No, all I'm saying is
It's only Poundcake's money.
I don't have skin in the game. Obviously, I just find it fascinating that I have to chalk it up to the fact that all the other names were taken.
And there's nothing.
I said this from the jump. People are convincing themselves that Guardians is a cool name.
It's a
because
Cleveland thing.
Huh?
It's a Cleveland thing.
I get it, but there are a billion Cleveland
There
things.
are not, though, because when we asked you to name another one, you couldn't.
So what? I'm not from here. I leave that.
You lived here for.
But I don't know you guys would know way more about the nuts and bolts of what could be viable and relevant to Clevelanders than me.
And that's why
just
we-
because I've lived here, I still use GPS to get around.
So then,
like,
by that notion, why don't you trust when Clevelanders say this is a Cleveland thing? And you're like, no, that's stupid.
no, I think it's ridiculous that two teams were fighting over the same
But
name.
again, the one team is not like a prominent team.
So
not
what?
like
It's
the
not about.
Cavs
It's
also
not about.
won it.
It's not about prominence. It's about.
I don't get
a
why
team
it-
already had the name.
Wouldn't that make it a good name if there's more than one place that wants to use it?
No, it means that by your own logic, a non-prominent team, nobody even knew it existed. So how good is the name?
That's because the sport isn't good.
We're going to name this after traffic statues. Okay, cool. Anyway, you're right. I have no skin in
Honestly-
the game. I don't care. White Sox, Red Sox. I don't care about any of that.
The best sports name in Cleveland was when it was the Lake Erie Monsters. Now they're the Cleveland Monsters. Still like the Monsters. I think Monsters is the best name of any nickname in Cleveland.
You liked the Lake Erie Monsters
Yeah.
better
Yeah.
than the Cleveland Monsters.
Yes.
What about the
Terminal Towers.
What about the Cleveland Lumberjacks? Remember when there was an IHL
That was
team?
that was a hockey team.
Yeah.
Yes.
not
Lumberjacks.
That one was, I mean,
And there's not a lot of lumberjacking going on in Cleveland.
But there never was, but they took the name.
right, but that's why that one wasn't great. The Crunch. I like the Crunch.
What about the
Cleveland,
Thunderbolts?
Cleveland Force. That was a good name.
What about the arena football team?
They were the Gladiators.
yeah.
The Thunderbolts.
When were they at? I never even heard of that.
They were in the Arena Football League, and in '94 they moved to Columbus.
Yeah, we had the Gladiators since then.
Yeah, but the Thunderbolts,
Is that better
they played at the Richfield Coliseum. Then the Gladiators,
than the Guardians?
the Thunderbolts, yeah, the T-Bolts,
An MLB team named the Thunderbolts.
Guardians.
It's better.
What are you going to call them? What are you going to shorten it to?
You don't
The
have
G's.
To. You don't have to.
The Guards?
Yeah, everybody likes to shorten, be cool with names. Yeah, well,
Deans. The Deans.
the T-Bolts, the Bolts, the T-Bolts, Bolts.
If they stink, they're the Rent-A-Cops.
Who?
Rent-A-Cops.
If who stinks?
The Guardians.
What are the Guardians?
He's being stupid.
I don't get it.
This is a stupid
Exactly,
argument. This is the whole
exactly.
conversation dumb.
What's Rent-A-Cops have to do with anything?
They're guards.
Of traffic.
They're very literal.
No, I'm literal.
I know, but
They go, we're naming these after traffic statues.
and why
I'm
does that
literal.
bother you so much?
It doesn't bother me.
His
I'm
point is that
surprised
there's two.
that yes, I'm
That people are
surprised.
fighting over it.
Yeah.
That people are fighting over such a dumb name. That's
not,
what his
Not
is.
anymore. They were litigating it. They
Well,
went to court.
You can litigate over anything.
Huh?
You can sue someone over anything. Your grass is too tall. I'm going to sue you. You can do that.
By the way, the Cleveland Green Sox.
Who? Is that
Baseball
a gardening club?
baseball team in 1913.
We garden in our
Members-
socks and no shoes.
Members of the Federal League and played one season. There you go. What about would you mention the Cleveland Patriots?
No.
The indoor football team based in Warrensville Heights?
Never heard
Is that a
of them.
pickup league? What are you're go doing a deep dive on
No,
Cleveland's
I
Wikipedia page.
Cleveland teams is what I Googled. The Cleveland Rebels,
Never heard of them.
the forerunner of the NBA. It's an early Cleveland basketball team.
Okay.
Any one of these, still available, guaranteed. Wasn't the WNBA team the Rockers?
Yes.
Cleveland Rockers. Come out to Progressive Field. We're going to rock your socks off. We're going to... I don't know. You're right. It's stupid. Who cares, right? It's going to be fine. It's going to be a lot of fun. Who cares? Doesn't matter what they're called.
Right.
It's
Just matters
a
if
good
they
time.
win.
That's right. It's a good time watching them, even if they lose.
Nope.
Hey, they should have.
Nope.
They should have guarded that better. It'll be fine. If only that ball was a car, they would have guarded that traffic. Yeah, we got a lot of ball traffic out here tonight at the ball field. All right, listen. As we are your FM home for Cleveland Guardians baseball, it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna collect myself.
Yeah, gather your thoughts,
I'm
man.
gonna gather all two of my thoughts. If you want to text for anything, 35192.